Hey Scorpio, how are you doing? I've been waiting for a few minutes for my neighbor's dog to stop barking. I'm hoping it's a penetrating kind of bark. And I think mom and dad aren't home, is what I think. He's going strong at 3:30 this morning as well, so we'll just see. But anyway, let's see how you're doing for this upcoming solar eclipse. I'm going to look for events that are specific to the solar eclipse for you, okay? I realize it's coming up right away on the 10th in Gemini. New moon. Yeah. So let's find out. Let's find out, Scorpio. How are you doing? I've got the divine doors out. Look at a few of those. And okay, flipping right out. Okay, so we've got, I'll put a thumbnail, right? The thumbnail will have a close-up of these, but some greenery. We've got a place that is basically beyond condemned, but still existent. So it's been around for a while. Light shining on it. A lot of clutter, like nature's taking over, shall we say. Nature's taking over, reclaiming or, growing around it, yes? An establishment, a structure. The structure's being modified. A lot of explorers, they love these places. Oh, we're not getting far. Okay. Number 42. Hello, Douglas Adams. Hey, Douglas. 42, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. I don't want to give away what the question is, so but I do recommend the book. The book is one of my, actually, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish is my absolute favorite. And I discovered, I have a long history with Hitchhiker's Guide. Oh good, another, no, I don't know if that was a talk, where I purposely avoided it because of someone connected to it in my life. And then when I did come around to it, then I was like, when I got to So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, I was like, this is me. This is me. Many of us get that feeling from books that we read, right? That sort of psychic thing of like, holy shit. And of course, it's, possibly a simulated, it's something that we're supposed to feel, how true it is, I don't know, but I've stuck with it. It has a lot to do, it does have a lot to do with me. It does surprise me with information sometimes. So, what else did I want to say about that? My copy of Hitchhiker's Guide, I tend to order, if I can get first editions, or if I can get them from specific locations. So I ordered a copy through Abe Books years ago from the UK, and it disappeared for it took 6 months to reach me. It disappeared. I gave up on it, and I was going to order it again, but I was a little bit, hesitant. And then it shows up. It went to Switzerland first. It got lost in Switzerland, and then it found its way. So it had its journey. It had a journey that it was meant to have. So there's something about nature taking over a structure, things coming to you in interesting ways in their own time, Scorpio. I'd say this, and look for really the people that inspire you, who are famous, who have passed, that are possibly guides, because they have a vested interest in your work, because it's carrying on their work, because they were part of the cosmic thing. Yes, okay. Got a candle that's gone out, so we'll relight that in a minute, but the smoke is kind of neat. But yes, so a candle just went out, so somebody might have passed. And really, these cards are coming, like, it's not giving me time to flip. So we have another institution. Obviously this is, well, we're gonna say it's the Catholic Church, or it could be, well, yeah, it's got popes on it. I mean, the Anglican Church answers to the Catholic Church, still always has. It's all the same. They're all the same. Salvation Army is the same. But so again, we're looking at a 3 of clubs. situation here, aren't we? This is exactly a Three of Clubs card, minus the people. But conflicts of interest, I would say. I don't know why I'm getting so much information just off of the photos. Normally I guess maybe they'll get me to do that more often, but right now it certainly feels that way. So let's relate. Let's relate. And get into it. See what's what. I know I have an idea of the ongoing story, but sometimes other things happen in life that aren't part of that ongoing, you know, or so sort of I keep track, but then I let go at the same time. All right. What's going on for Scorpio during the solar eclipse? And what do those cards have to do with a solar eclipse? We'll find out. Because of course the meanings aren't, what's on the back isn't necessarily what I was, anything to do with what I was saying, right? Okay, dropping right out. Oh, no communication. The 8 of proving yourself to yourself, reversed to the 7 of transformation in your desires, in your sense of direction, in your actual direction. What's at the bottom that I'm flashing at the camera? Queen of Cups in the upright. Well, that'd be you in Pisces mode. Full communication with guides, full empathy. So maybe too many people. Maybe. But that transformation of, yeah, becoming what you want to become. Okay. No, okay, so communication's down because you're hard at work. You're hard at work. We've got 2 8s here, and one's got to trade off for the other. Okay. Because because this 8 is going to affect your transformation of desires and wants and who you are in the world and what you're going after. Yeah. All right. We've got Capricorn energy for me. Typically it's called Virgo energy, but for me, the entrepreneur definitely belongs in the 10th house, not in the 6th. And I mean, you can do entrepreneurial stuff in the 6th, but you are not on, that's the preparation time. And the philosopher, I'm sorry, is not, the hermit is by no means representative of entrepreneurial dispositions. So proving yourself to yourself. Proving yourself. Okay, it's coming up. Oh, interesting. Well, how do we have Saturn in reverse? Saturn in reverse. And divine timing there. Fears, boundaries, calculated risks, the achievement. So the achievement is behind you, it's past. We've started the cycle already. Is that what it is? Or, well, or it's, you know, it can feel like a negative with these 8 wands in reverse. Cut off. Got, no. Okay. 2 people. 2 people in reverse. Interesting here. Or another person that came, somebody, let's find out. I need clarification on that. Somebody caused you to be alone. There's possibly a child involved or an immature person, we could say fire sign, but just somebody acting strongly, whose will was greater than yours in something, or was trying. This could be yourself. Your own fire could be out. Yes, your own plan, not knowing the plan. But it's interesting. I just feel like these are, what a contrasting energy between a queen and a page. But the offer there. But that's the student card. Resulting in Virgo energy, which, you know, I mean, yes, like I said, it's preparation time, but you're being guided. We had the Queen of Cups flashing. Two of Pentacles in reverse. So interesting that we have somebody that offered an Ace of Pentacles. Right. So we've got clarification that working with somebody else is possibly down. But this was making up your mind about something that is a new situation. New situation. New situation. It did not work out. It did not work out. Now, why does that matter? Because your Pluto energy is stuck. I'm putting it side. Did it come out kind of reverse? But let's put it sideways. This taking dead energy and starting from a standing still position and putting things in motion. Very creative. This is extreme creative energy. The truth is stuck. This could be feeling stuck because of the situation. Somebody's own will. The camera might have cut me off from saying that. Okay, so I've got a 10 of Wands in reverse over here, leading back to the 9 of Wands. So we've got 10 to 8. Okay. Completion. 10 and 2 10s down. 2 10s down. So there was a lot that went on. There's many years between you and this person. Possibly since childhood. That seems to be what's coming together in my mind now. And therefore a very long cycle a very long cycle is over. Connected to home, because this person's making his way home. But all those 10 wands are leading us back to the 9 of Wands, proving yourself to everyone else. But let's just say, yeah, and that's where you need to. So there's a transformation connected to proving yourself to everyone else. It's affected you incredibly socially because you're in hermit mode. And this sword is pointing over there. This judgment's pointing over there. Now, Pluto, knowing your own inner power, your own inner wealth. 4 of Swords. So there we have you resting on the truth. Okay. Because the Ace of Swords, you're resting on it. It's a pause, but so we do have a pause situation here, and I'm guessing during Well, the question is this, okay, well, is this where we're at, or is this what's going to happen during the eclipse? Sideways Empress. Kali is, I take this as grandmother spider and Kali when this comes through. There's suspended intervention that's manifesting in your life because of this situation. Possibly necessary change. It's a 5. The 5 of Pentacles. So this to me is Virgo energy. It's the beginning of Virgo energy. So there's something that needs to be solved, worked on, possibly. But yes, so manifestations are held up, and that's probably has everything to do with Mercury in retrograde as well. If I could remember what the placement of this is. Well, I would change it anyway, because this is typically a Taurus card. So that wouldn't mean the same thing for me anyway. But there are planetary placements represented in pretty much every card, I think. But 3 of manifesting. So there's, okay, so typically when this happens, when we end something with somebody, we usually pull the pin on somebody ourselves, right? Then there's the usual, the healing from that, the allowing for time, and then the digging into what it means, what it was about, and then resetting your path. Resetting. We get very involved in other people's stuff. Not that everybody doesn't, but us with our subliminal powers and all that. And so there's the need to remember who we are and what our things are, and regroup. And that necessary change. The necessary change of regrouping. Because this was a long journey. This was a long association. Okay, Emperor down. So somebody who was controlling. Somebody who was controlling. I'm getting a little bit of an uneasy sensation. I don't want to project. I'm going to start to project. I don't want to do that. Let's get clarification of this controlling person. Okay. Wow. Wow. So some sort of power over you is over. Some sort of power over you is over. Obviously. This is a huge shift. This is a huge shift. So that you get your... It's your time. Your time is coming up. Wow. Empress and Emperor. If, now why do I take that as an archetypal energy? I need to change how I do that because I don't take this as an archetypal energy. So, do I want to say, haven't quite... If this is Kali for me, I haven't resolved who the male god figure is. I come from a Christian background, and I could say, but we've got the Pope right next to this, and so I want to say that the church, but I already know Bible came from a... I've spent... Okay, let me... In order to get clear about this card and accurate next relative to this card, right? If this is my idea of Kali, if that's what she's expressed to me, then there's a power of the masculine ideas of God. And I know, like, I've spent at least 30 years on the journey of solving the Abrahamic religions, yes. And therefore, because I come from it, so I needed to solve it. I'm one of those. Lots of people in it don't try to solve it. They take it as it is. Sorry, I need to sneeze, but no, Bible came from Arabia. It's a very small story that became a huge one. And it's Kamal Salibi. If you go to, you can find him on Wikipedia. Salibi. Kamal, Kamal, Lebanese scholar. And I'll replace this candle in a second. But did the work on Biblical Hebrew was not a spoken language. And there were gross mistranslations through verbal interpretations. And so he, having enough of a language base himself and familiar enough with all the areas and how languages work over there, decided he'd go back to the, he would attempt to see just how incorrect some of those translations were, and out of place in context, yes. And so he comes up with, it's not an impossible read. It's actually, for being academic, he makes a big effort to be conversational in his writing, but there is a lot of linguistic stuff to get through, word stuff to get through. And so he proves that he proves on paper that in the Assyria region of Arabia, place names still match, tribe names still match. Eden was this little wadi, this oasis in the Arabian desert, right? And so how the hell... And Egypt wasn't Egypt. Which only correlates and supports Africans insisting that, the Egyptian story is not Israel's story, but their story. So, now once we get to post-Babylonian exile, then yes, the story starts off down in Arabia and shifts up to Palestine. But we know that the 10 Commandments come from the 42 laws of Maat. We know that the Psalms of David originate from Psalms in the Egyptian. There are multiple sources. We know that Adam and Eve was a smear campaign against the African prophetesses, who were the Delphi oracles as well, and consulted by all of the Mediterranean empires. So, something about that. Something about this huge, but this power is so tied to all the institutions, financial institutions. Right? So what do we have? Nature taking over an institution. And the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And we have the conflicts of interest card. Okay. So there's an understanding then? I don't know. This is very interesting. And how does it tie how does that tie into the end of this cycle? Or is this you again? No, I don't know that it is. It could be. It could be for some. Down to the floor. Oh, okay. Now it came out, it fell down in the reverse, but then when I went to pick it up, it hit the leg of the tripod and flipped. So I want to say that that whole thing is the message. Yep, 9th house of faith, long journeys, long journeys. I mean, we've got Sagittarius energy here, Sagittarius energy here, Sagittarius energy here. So this could have been something you have invested in since childhood. This might not be another relationship. This might be something that you believed in since childhood. Or both. Or both. Because it could affect this relationship that goes back to childhood with somebody. But no, okay, so we've got Sagittarius turned around. A turnaround in Sagittarius energy. Wow. This is really taking me into a place, even though I'm comfortable with, I'm very comfortable with the truth. I run towards it. But it's so, I need to mention that Oshun of the Orisha has been coming through very strongly. And I've worked with, the Orisha came into my life years and years ago. My kid was, it was when I was homeschooling my son, and he was 6, 7, and he's 21 now. And they came into my head in a very, it took me in a very definite direction. Well, no, they were even in my life before that, because I had family members who were, unfortunately, missionaries in Niger. Not that the Orisha are from Niger, but they're Yoruba. They're nearby. Or are they? I need to get my map out. Sorry, guys. I once had it all memorized because I made the effort to memorize because, you know. And they would bring me the literature that they were handing to the kids, the stories. There was one book in particular, a story that was written, and it's horrifying. It's just the... But of course, well, and then we know, they were with Sudan Interior Mission. And if you go into Yves Anglay's Canada and Africa, you find out, well, we all know what the missions go in to do. They go in to lay the groundwork, yeah, for the multinationals. So, our companies still cut off the hands of, and we sign, Canada signs African countries to 16-year treaties where they can't fight back against the corporations that are offering them the treaties, or else they'll do guerrilla warfare and replace the government. Like, they're just, it's amazing. It's just so evil that there aren't words for it. But of course, it's all playing out in Canada all the time as well, for the Crown and for the Vatican. So, but Oshun's been coming through strongly. Look for yellow. Look for bronze. She's in charge of fresh water. Yemaya is in charge of salt water. They work for a singular god, a masculine god. But why would it be simple during a solar eclipse for Scorpio? Have to replace another flame. Okay, let's just go here for a second. Inner power. God damn it. Inner power. Be your own command. They got me to read it that way. By your own command. You brought yourself here. At this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. let's stick with the original way. Well, let's put them both together, but be your own command. Wow. Makes sense. Progress you've been making. And I'm not even trying to project here. I know. I watch enough. I keep myself enough in the energy that mostly I'll research topics that I need to do for my art and my writing and stuff. But by and large, I keep myself in the energy of other readers. And because life gets us to cut out so many people anyway, right? But so I'm reading the comments from other Scorpios all the time, so I know. But be your own. Wow, God, that's so much power. Okay. Walkabout. You discover your path in sacred walkabout. The trees are your people. The earth is your tribe. The indigenous lessons you find. In indigenous lessons, you find the will to survive. Well, for those 215 children, it's a controlled story, of course. 215, I looked up the gematria for the 215 because, of course, Blood Moon and Magog, Magog, both are represented by 215, and so we just we're looking at a blood moon. We just had one, or this is what we're facing. So it has everything to do with well, that's in Jewish gematria, Hebrew gematria. There are other gematrias, so I gotta look it up in the other gematrias as well. But also the color orange, yeah. Well, this is coming off more yellow actually for Oshun, but the color orange has been used for the 215 children. But it's a trigger for me because my great-great-great-grandfather rode the White Stallion in the Orange Day parades up in Belfast, and I know, if you know the history at all of the House of Orange. So I went looking up the House of Orange yesterday morning, or the day before, can't even remember anymore. And of course, now John A. MacDonald is one of the, they're taking, at least one statue's been taken down since the 215 children were recovered from the mass grave. He belonged to the Orange Lodge in Canada, which is, if you go to the Wikipedia page, as long as it's still standing, what is it? Well, okay, so the Orange Order, the Orange Lodge, it's coming out of Ireland, but it answers to, it's in allegiance to the original Dutch House of Orange, which is tied to UK in many ways through generations. Because, you know, what isn't? But in the colonies, in the stolen lands, desecrated lands, they, of all of those, Canada is most prominent for, you know, it notes that especially in Canada, the Orange Lodge is important. And so you kind of just got to smell that rat there of, because they want to fight back against the red and white of the Canadian flag, yes, but orange is no less a color. It's like the underground color of the people that have done this, that have spearheaded, right, that control, and yeah, everybody's complicit, but walkabout, the truth, right, the truth. But yeah, so there's a truth that's greater than even one particular fight. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. And 42 is an Uranus cycle. It's a half, it's a quarter, what is it? It's a, it's half of your life of, you know, like you can only have, like Uranus obviously takes more than that to do its thing, but it's like a quarter of an Uranus cycle, and it's half of your life. But look for Uranus activities, so Aquarius activities. Jude song, a reminder for even the most hopeless of lost cases. You can find peace within the strangest of places. You can find peace within the strangest of, well, yeah, Scorpio for sure can. In this death, in this peace of knowing the truth, peace of knowing you might be the first. You're creating a new territory. You're creating a new, even just a conceptual territory, but doing, you know, that extreme creative work, and you're alone in it. But you're not, because you have all your guides. This is exciting. This is exciting. Okay, I think I'll just see if it is. Okay. Knight of Cups. Don't go anywhere. Just why the Knight of Cups in reverse? I mean, that's you. That's you. What you doing upside down? The Hanged Man upside down in the Magician pose. Something's going to throw you. And then be afraid. Everybody be afraid of what Scorpio's going to do. Stand in your own power. Knight. The Knight is caught between... The Knight serves the King's interests. The Knight serves the King's interests. And you no longer... You have been released. You have graduated. Wow. You've graduated spiritually. You're being given authority. That's what the solar eclipse is. Well done, Scorpio. Where do we go from here? What happens 2 weeks from now? I don't know, but I'll be back. Much love.